All right, Suzuki East Tigers fans, as promised, we have the new head honcho, our Intrust Super Cup coach for 2020 and beyond, Craig Hodges, joining us on Tiger TV for the first time this season. Craig, can I first start by saying welcome to the Tigers?
Yeah, thank you. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, perfect, mate. Hey, you're coming up on a month officially in the role. You started on the 1st of November. If the premiership was a mountain, how hard's the climb looking?
Yeah, I probably haven't looked that far ahead, to be honest. I know that's the end goal, but we've got a lot of work that we need to do in preparation, and that starts with putting a roster together and then the training that we're doing, particularly pre-Christmas. That's been our main focus, and so far I've been really happy.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, you've got previous Intrust Super Cup experience with Wynnum, North. You moved into the Broncos system. You've been at the Titans the last couple of years, mate. What were the attractive features of coming to the Tigers when the job came up?
Yeah, when it come up, I thought about it, and the attraction to coming back was it's been a frustrating last couple of seasons. So the attraction to come back was to come to a good club, a solid club, well-run club that had a chance to run my own team, organise my own roster, do my own thing. So really good chance to get back to the nuts and bolts of coaching. I've really missed that. So that was the attraction, and mix that with a club that really wants to be successful and is doing everything possible to get that success. That's what that was another attraction.
So with that, you're bringing your own style. You've brought your own coaching staff with you. You've brought some new faces. One name that gets mentioned to me consistently is Tony Guilfoyle, the new strength and conditioner. Can you talk a bit about the staff you brought along?
Yeah, well, Tony Guilfoyle and Elliot Jackson are the two main guys. When I was at the Broncos, Tony was with the NRL side as the head of high performance. Elliot worked with us in the 20s, and then they both went to Penrith with Anthony Griffin down there. So between them, there's a couple of hundred, NRL games experience, and they bring all that experience with them to us. Tony's got a long history in Queensland Cup himself, so and a history of success. So those guys know what it takes to get it done. That's not a reflection on anybody that's been here before, but they're really switched on professional guys, and the players have responded to it so far.
So with that, Tony's been flogging the guys out there in pre-season. We're coming up on our third week of pre-season. Is there anyone that's impressed you so far?
Yeah, as a group, they've all been pretty good. It'd be probably unfair to signal anybody in particular out. There's some guys that do better at this time of year, but as a group, I've been really, really impressed with how they've thrown themselves into anything that we've asked them to do. Which that is a reflection on the people that have come before us. They've got them well trained, well disciplined. There's good quality people at the club, and if you start with good quality people, we can build whatever we want on the back of that.
Talking about good quality people at the club, I guess the timing of your arrival at the Tigers meant that there were a little bit of planning for season 2020 was already underway. So you've inherited a bit of the Tigers roster, and you've sort of starting to bring your own guys in. Can you talk about any of the new signings, the guys that you particularly wanted to bring, what you want them to bring to the team?
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple of them off the top of my head. Jaden Beryl, had Jaden for 3 years in the under 20s at the Broncos. A player that I've been really surprised and disappointed that he hasn't had an opportunity at NRL level. He's a good, hard-working. I know what I'm going to get from him each week, so I really trust him and rely on him. Marcus Jensen, a guy we brought down from North Queensland. Again, he's had a sniff of NRL experience, but a talented outside back, brings a bit with that. Sam Elliott, again, I had in the 20s at the Broncos. Just a good, hard-working forward. We mix those guys in. There's more to come that we'll be announcing in the next few weeks. Zach Masters, a guy from Canberra.
Can we get a sneak preview of any of the guys we'll be getting an announcement from?
Maybe, but Zach Masters, a guy that come from Canberra, is a good, hard-working front rower that we've brought up from there, and mix that with the guys we've got. There's a wonderful culture here of guys that want to work hard and are desperate to improve. We've got some really good young guys here. We're a little bit green in some areas, but I'm happy with that. I've got no problems with that. What we make up for is enthusiasm, and those guys just keep developing. You can see them each week getting better and better each week in the first couple of weeks that we've started. So that's a really exciting part for me as a coach.
I mentioned before your pathway to coaching, where you've been prior to coming to the Tigers. I'm getting a sense through what we're talking about now that you like the hard-working play, you like guys that you can rely on. You're looking for guys, dependable guys in your squad.
Yeah, well, I've been lucky enough that I've coached at every level from the bush through to NRL. So, and in all those levels, the same thing has success, and that's hard work. So, I'm very much a effort based coach. My teams are very much effort based teams. A lot of people get excited by the skill and the technique side of things, and there's a role for that. There's a place for that, and it does have its importance, but none of it's worth anything if it's not on the back of hard work. And the hard work at the moment is on getting bigger and stronger. You're right, Gilly really is flogging them out in the gym, out on the field. Elliot's into them in the gymnasium, so that's our priority pre-Christmas. But just that general mentality, and that's something that we're looking to get into the younger guys that we've brought in and the younger guys that are here. We want to be a team that competes. The game goes for 80 minutes. We want to compete for all 80 minutes. We don't want to be drifting in and out of games. We don't want to be drifting in and out in weeks. Every time an opposition team comes to play us, whether it's home and away, we want them to know that they're in a contest.
Okay, moving on to season 2020. We know what the end goal is. We've talked about what we're all hoping to see here at the end of 2020. Is there anything you've set as a minimum standard for success, or is there a barometer you're looking for from the team next year that sort of defines where we go as a club?
Well, probably. I mean, not so much the things I think you're talking about end results and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that will happen on the back of what we do. So I know everybody else gets excited with final spots or grand finals and premierships, and that's the end result for every team, and that's certainly what we're aiming for. But for us, in the day-to-day process of it, I'm looking for the team first and foremost that wants to compete on everything we do. So that's something that we're rewarding and fostering at training at the moment. Once we get that into us, like I said earlier, we can build whatever we want on the back of that. So the talent is an issue. There's a lot of talent in the group. We don't have any problems with that. What we need to be is, in tough times, in tough conditions, in tough circumstances, that we stand up and are still willing to play football. There's no situation for us at all during the season where we're happy to sit down and just let the game coast by.
Perfect, mate. No, I just wanted to give the fans a bit of an idea of what to expect in the year to come. So we appreciate your time on Tiger TV. Thanks for joining us. We won't see you. We're going to let you get back to coaching the boys over the pre-season. We'll catch up before round one, but really want to say welcome aboard the Tigers. I'm sure all the fans are really excited to have you here, mate. We can't wait for a great year.
Yeah, I'm very excited myself. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, mate.